And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to rise for the Star-Spangled Banner. Candy, would you come forward?
You're all warmed up. Sing it with me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And now I'd like to present to you our next President of the United States, Congressman Ron Paul.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it's real smooth. Is it? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. What a nice reception. This is great. I would like to introduce the members of my family that are with me tonight. And first, my wife, Carol. We will be married 51 years tomorrow. And we have two of our 18 grandchildren here, Laura and Laura. Valerie and Laura. I can't keep them all straight. Here's Valerie and Laura. But good to see everybody tonight. Thank you. You know, I spend a lot of time in Washington, but there's not much enthusiasm for the revolution. But in this Washington, it sounds like there is a lot of enthusiasm. Sounds to me like maybe we ought to move some of those people out of that other Washington over here so they can learn something. Now, what a great event tonight, and so many people showed up, and this is just wonderful. And a lot of people say that there's a Ron Paul revolution going on, but I don't believe so. I believe it's your revolution, and thank you for it. No, there's no way one individual can do this. I get my energy for you. A lot of people think you get it from me, but I guess it's mutual. But believe me, something very significant has happened in this past year. It's much more than I ever dreamed, I ever expected. And I haven't been bashful in saying that 1 year ago, I was very reluctant to become a candidate. And although I had been doing this and talking about this, as so many of you have over the many years, that I just didn't know whether there would be enough people who cared, enough new people who would come in. And let me tell you, I've learned something this year. There are a lot, and I am very pleased to tell you that this movement is going to continue. A lot of things are coming together. Many have spoken out and defended the freedom movement for many years and talked about the Constitution, but we couldn't seem to get off the ground. And yet this year, it is utterly amazing. I think several things have come together. One is I think our country is in worse shape than it's been a long time, and we need to do something really drastic about it. I think the message has been especially received by young people because, we complain a whole lot about our public education system. And I said, well, it might not be up to speed totally, but I'll tell you what, the young people must have learned their arithmetic. It hasn't been too hard to figure out that they're getting a lot of debt, and it's a big burden, and they can do it adding and subtracting on Social Security. They realize it's not such a great deal. So one thing is not only is freedom attractive to everybody concerned, but young people especially have been attracted to it, realizing something has to give. They're getting the burden of this tremendous debt that we already have, the entitlement obligation of $50 to $60 trillion, and then again, they bear the burden of what our foreign policy is all about. And that, I know, is something that is concern for all of us. But when we offer an alternative, such as in foreign policy, and say, look, there is no need to be fighting all these wars. What we need to do is bring the troops home as soon as possible. Our country is going broke, and we now are forced to pay for the extravagance of the last several decades. We went through the 70s paying for the decade of the 60s, which was fighting a no-win war and a lot of extra additional welfareism programs. And here we are, we've done the same thing over again, massively expanding the domestic welfare spending here at home, at the same time massively expanding the spending overseas. We now spend approximately $1 trillion overseas to maintain an empire. And this empire is not justified under our Constitution. It doesn't make any sense fiscally, and it doesn't make any sense morally. And for this reason, there is no doubt in my mind that we should look at the advice the founders gave us. The founders were very clear. Stay out of entangling alliances. Don't go into nation building. Trade with people, be friends with people, have diplomatic relation with people, but don't go looking for these dragons and to slay and to go out and do all this thing and trying to make the world better. Woodrow Wilson especially got us off on the wrong track when he says we have this moral obligation to make the world safe for democracy. Sure. Yeah, look how safe and look how democratic the world is. I'd like them to be more worried about the democratic process here in this country. But we have drifted a long way from the intent of the founders. They gave us instructions about the foreign policy. There is no authority in the Constitution to police the world. And, of course, there are a lot of other admonitions in the Constitution that we have failed to follow. The welfare state, no matter how they try to tell you you're supposed to interpret the welfare clause, there's no justification for the welfare state in our Constitution. There's a justification for one thing for the federal government to do, and that is to protect protect us from foreign enemies, but also to protect our liberties here at home.